Testing. Let me bring this closer. Good morning. Happy Friday, TGIMF. Shout out to y'all. I see you. I appreciate you. Let me know that you can hear me. I think the thing is moving, so I think I can barely see it, though. The thing is moving. I can barely see it. Anyway, good morning. Happy Friday, y'all. It has been a week. But we're here for Friday. Why don't we be rushing for the damn weekend in order for the weekend to go by fast, right? Then we be back to work. Child, it's crazy. There's got to be a better way. It's interesting, though, thinking about that. Hold on a second. Thinking about that. And then the videos that I found for this live stream today, inspired by that person who is so upset from the video that we did with the girl that basically disparaged her mom because she decided to get married. And then to say that I have unrepressed issues, anger, or something with regard to the younger generation. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's me. I got issues with the younger generation. So just say that I have issues with them, right? Like I really don't, but like just say, like if I did have issues, what would the issues really be? Yeah, I mean, so if I had issues so much so that it was a problem, how does that affect them? How does that affect you? How does that affect the everyday life that these people do for themselves? It doesn't. But clearly it affects that person. So if you're just upset by what you hear, then you can be upset by what you hear. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. 1, you can unsubscribe. 2, you could scroll on. And 3, you could grow up because you don't know me and I don't know you. So if I do have unrepressed, that's so crazy, issues with the younger generation, then go find someone who has pressed issues with the younger generation. If that's the thing, what is the opposite of unpressed? Wait, I forget what it's even called. I forget the words. It's too much. These people just get on my nerves. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I found some videos, one of which is from Anton, because you know Anton said, and actually brought up a different video. So it's not just me. I'm not even going to TikTok today, which I can easily go there. Hold on a second. I didn't know Jay-Z was going in concert. Is that why he re-released that that album? Anyway. Oh, he's gonna be in New York, Yankee Stadium. In case y'all needed to know. But yeah, anyway, back to this. My bad. I got a text and it caught my attention. Anyway, so we don't look at a few of those videos. I got a little bit of time this morning. I actually found out I have a meeting at like 9:30, so I can be here till maybe 8:15 or so. So we'll see what we can get through. Anyway, shout out to all y'all that are here. If you are on replay, please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Let me show you this video before I get started. Shout out to y'all, Winchy and G Honda. G Honda, I feel like I haven't seen you around in a while. Apologies if I've missed you. So there's this lady that I just started to follow because I'm just trying to find content now that just makes me laugh because I just need to be in a better mood, right? And this is the person that's showing us this is not the person. It's the person in the background with the dog. This dog is crazy, but she's like on YouTube with this dog. And then the way she throws the dog is so damn funny. So let me go ahead. I'm going to show y'all this. This is just to be funny. All right. A laugh before the Generation Z start to cry. So it's titled My Yorkie's Proposal to Be a Deacon. I don't even know what this means.
Hello. Pastor T, I know that you'll be watching my page. We want to do me and Tino just want stop. Me and Tino, we want to have a proposal. I would like for Tino to become one of the deacons in the church. We go to church every Sunday. We support your church, and I feel like my dog will meet the criteria to be one of the deacons in the church. He loves going to church, right? So we would like to ask Tino be one of the deacons. Stop. My dog been a part of the fellowship program for quite some months now. You offered Tino to become one. Stop. you offer for Tino to become one of the members of the church, and I feel like he has earned his way up to be one of the deacons. And we would really appreciate if you. Hello, Pastor T. I know that you'll be watching my page. We want to do me and Tino just want stop. Me and Tino, we want to have a proposal. I would like for Tino to become one of the deacons in the church.
The way she tosses that dog. The way she tosses that dog bags me up.
He loves going to church, right? So we would like to ask Tino be one of the deacons. Stop. My dog been a part of the fellowship program for quite some months now. You offer Tino to become one. Stop. You offer for Tino to become one of the members of the church, and I feel like he has earned his way up to be one of the deacons. And we would really appreciate if you.
Oh my God, this is so freaking funny. I sit here and scroll through watching these videos from this girl and this damn dog. Yo, this dog is crazy, okay? And be on 10 every single time, biting her and whatnot. She just throws the dog and he comes right back. He be humping on her. It's crazy. It's freaking ridiculous. But the dog's name is Valentino and she calls him Tino, but it's just too funny. And the dog be biting her all damn time, just be sitting up there gnawing at her. And she continues on with this straight face. It makes it so much more funny. But anyway, so this is what I watch on YouTube when I want to laugh and put me in a better mood. And this definitely works. And along with that girl that I showed y'all yesterday or the day before yesterday, that be dancing all over the place and just be dancing in people's faces. But anyway, so funny. It's a Yorkie, I think, a Yorkshire dog or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, so then there's that. G Honda, you are my husband. You are my YouTube husband for real. I have not been ignoring you, not even. But if I did, I apologize. If you think I was ignoring you, trust me, I was not. I apologize. Okay. Shout out to you. It's a Yorkie. Okay. All right. Well, he crazy. All right. And she crazy too. Because that dog ain't gonna be sitting up here biting me all the time. He be all over the damn place. Woo! Oh, you watch him too? Oh my God. It's so freaking funny. Her straight face and then the dog is just acting like the dog. So, child, is this dog like this all damn time? Ain't no way. But I guess he's a good. It seems like he needs to get fixed, but I guess that would take away from the shtick. Because she's like, oh look, the shirt says Tino. I just realized that because she is doing big things with this dog and this channel that she got. So anyway, I don't even know her name. I just found her like not even a week ago, but I just love it. Oh, boo, I love you too. Trust me when I tell you. I need positivity right now. Trust me when I tell you. All right, one more thing before we get into it. All right, so Ben Crumb put out pictures of Nolan Wells, I think his last name is, because, they want to make sure that he's seen, in my opinion, that he knew Black people. That's what I feel like this was for, okay? Ben Crumb put this up. It says, from somebody else, it says, Nolan, my friend, closer to a brother than anything. Oh, this is his friend. Oh, I think this was the one that he was on the boat with. Let me go over to his page. Does that come up? Okay. I think this dude was the friend on the boat. All right. It says, my friend, Nolan, my friend, closer to a brother than anything. Ever since we became close, I've loved every minute of being your friend. I don't even know how to cope with the pain I've been feeling, losing you, bro. I wish I could tell you I love you one last time, brother. I wish you knew how much you meant to me. I wish I spent more time with you. I wish I could just talk to you just one last time. I wish we could sit back on the phone again, talking about our plans for life. I wish I could go on our random drives for hours. I wish I could see your smile, bro, and your joy. I wish I was with you on the 4th of July, even though, okay, so that's not that one dude. Even though you often call me for advice, you don't know how much I looked up to you, bro, and how often you pushed me to be a better man for myself and my family. You always kept it real with me and believed in me so dearly. I admired all the hard work you put despite the distractions. You were the closest thing to a perfect friend I could ever think of, brother. You passed that only 18 years, but I promise I will keep your name alive as long as I am until we meet again, my friend, my brother. I love you, Nolan. Rest up, bro. So this is sad. This is a cute picture though. These guys, what is this? Christian Bass. Okay, Christian Bass is the one in the back, the lighter skinned one. They were beachers though. It looked like they at the beach, right? This doesn't have any sound. So I wonder if they went to the same school or not. I guess maybe this is Halloween or something. They all have the same aesthetic. Can we agree to that? I'm not coming from a negative place, y'all, at all. Can we agree that they have the same aesthetic? Which would lead me to believe that they all are in the same class by way of their parents. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I want to make sure that people don't miss that. So they're not going to be where some of the regulars are. That's all I'm saying. Remember when people were wearing these quarter neck shirts? Young black men were wearing the quarter neck shirts, and women had issues and a problem with it. Y'all remember that? It was like the quarter necks in Starbucks or something like that, and coffee or something. And they were having a fit over that. Yeah, who do you think you are? He's still the same, blah, 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 blah. Now, with this case, now that this young man, unfortunately, is no longer with us, this is the everything is everything, and we love him, and we love you. Not the dude that wrote this. I'm talking about everybody else, because everything is there's always a reason behind something. Let me put it that way. Whatever people's agenda is, in my opinion, is where their attention comes from. Because these three with their aesthetic, typically many black women, because this stuff is led by black women, let's be honest, would be having an issue with how they look, how they dressed, and they don't have on, I think they were saying they don't have on quarter zips. Thank you. My fave. Quarter zips, but they had issue with them wearing it. They said, well, why don't you have on Nike? I think it was, or I don't know, maybe it was Polo. I forget exactly. So I apologize for my ignorance, but it was so like they had such an issue. Now they're like, oh yeah, thank you. This is great. These are people that they would typically ignore. I'm telling you, this is not the typical of who they would be looking at to date and stuff like that. They're clearly going to, in my opinion, I could be wrong. What is it? Nike Dry Fit? Nike Dry Fit? Okay, maybe that's it. Oh, it was Nike. That's the name of the thing. Okay. But these guys are all similar. The regulars, he goes fishing. Okay. Nike Techs. Okay. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you, boo. He's going fishing. So you're telling me that, this is something that they'd have been like, oh yeah, y'all great. No, they would say something stupid because there's so much picking and choosing. This is clearly this was his friend though. So shout out to him. Maybe this is their high school or something. I don't know. Obviously it looks like it is in school for sure. And then if you do go to some place like an all white school of some sort, you definitely will stick together, because you're the only ones that you have. That's how it was when I first went to college initially when I was younger. It was a PWI, and all the black people stuck together, not to fight, but just to be together. They had like the black, I forget what it was called, but a place where you could hang out. You know how fraternities have their houses? Well, it was one of them houses where black people could hang out, and all the fraternities and sorority people would hang out there. Oh, this is nice though. So rest in peace again to Nolan. I guess this was him sending messages to him after he was missing. Wow. But yeah. So that's his friend, Christian Bass, Nolan's friend, and that's a tribute to him. So I just want to make sure that we show that, because other people will use it for their agendas, which I guess Ben Crump should, because he's the attorney, or one of the attorneys anyway, to help figure out what happened here. And we wait and see. Everyone else still has all their videos about, they know what happened. They got all these videos. They asked for the damn videos. Let's see if they send them in, or they're just going to do the same thing that the others are doing with the Carmela situation. Oh, we got video. Oh, we got video. What y'all, do they have the video is the question. I digress. Moving on, child. Moving on. Anyway, all right, let's get into the lazy generation. We're going to go to Anton's video first. His video was titled, Gen Z is lazy, unprofessional, and don't want to work. People say it's hard finding good workers. Kind of goes along with what I said yesterday. So, of course, you know I'm going to speed it up. Shout out to y'all that are here. Please hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Being professional. And I'm mostly talking to the younger Gen Z crowd. And I know I probably look like I'm a part of that. I'm actually almost 27, if you would believe it or not.
Girl, you still a part of it.
I've been talking about this with many people recently, people that I work for, friends of mine, whatever. There's so many problems with the younger generation coming into this professional field, any professional field, really. Like the way they format emails. You guys are emailing like it's a text. Emails need to be professional. They need to have a subject, an intro, an ending, a signature. You can't just be like, okay, great. That's a text. That's not an email. And also there's a lack of taking initiative. I feel like all the interns I'm bringing on and all the young people I'm working with are just doing exactly what they're told. I'll ask them, for example, I work in a lot of like marketing and social media fields, meta ads, you name it. I'll ask them to make a video. I've never once had them make me 3 and be like, I made these, pick your favorite one, let me know your feedback. Or they never said, okay, I love that idea. I'm also thinking maybe we could do this. There's none of that. It's just black and white to them. You guys have to start taking initiative. I just got my biggest
initiative. What? Generation Z is not taking the initiative? What? Do they even know what that means? Allegedly. Do you think they even know what that means? Allegedly. Initiative. The lazy generation. She thinks the lazy generation is going to take initiative. What? And this is one of y'all's own. For the upset Generation Zers, this is one of your own. Shout out to Ms. AB. Good morning to you, boo. She said, happy Friday. Have a great day, everyone. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. You do the same. Take care of yourself out there. Appreciate you.
Retainer freelance client in the last week. My highest rate, my most exciting project yet in the last few months, at least. And I asked him, I met with the CEO today. I had only met with him over Zoom. I met with him today and I point blank asked him, why did you decide to work with me? Like, you hadn't even really seen any of my work yet. We hadn't met in person yet. What made you want to move forward? And he was like, you took initiative more than anyone I've ever talked to, like more than anyone else in the interview process.
So what she's saying is completely right. And it's very funny because even after posting this video, when you look at her comments, because obviously I like to see the comments, and the comments give me some insight on if I want to react to it. And the young people were like, I'm not doing that. Man, skip that.
Oh, what? Anton, what? Now you heard what Anton said. What a surprise. What a surprise. Wow.
When you pay me this wage, then that's when I'll start showing initiative.
Oh, you mean $50,000 to drop fries?
No, you're not. You're not going to do anything different. You're not going to be any better because you are who you are regardless of where you at.
Exactly.
And so for me, I'm going to deliver. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be awesome. And I don't care if I'm working at a fast food place or if I'm making whatever it is that I'm making my businesses, right? I am going to over deliver every single time. And it's so funny to me that, you have a whole new generation of people that, because there's always been lazy people in every generation, right? That's not singular to just the people in general.
Did Anton say lazy people in all generations? Absolutely. He's absolutely right. But do you think these people think that? No, they're too busy looking at people who have money and being jealous whilst not wanting to work, whilst not wanting to take direction, whilst saying that they need to make this much money. Well, if you ain't gonna do something to get you to that level, you're not gonna make that much money. Then they just want to come on to TikTok and complain. Job finds out some of the time, then they get fired, and then they say that's not fair.
But you have a whole new generation where overwhelmingly it seems like everybody is lazy. And that will never bode well. It will never translate. It will never ever make you the type of money that you want to make. And people think that, oh man, wait, I'm gonna wait till the situation happen. No, part of the interview process is knowing whether or not you are the actual person. And I'm not just saying interview for the job. I'm saying interview for a contract, interview for an opportunity. It's your sentiment. It's how you carry yourself. It's what you post on social media. All of those things.
What they post on social media? Are you kidding me? Are you saying, Anton, that there are actually people at companies that go out and look at your social media before they actually what? I mean, I know that's not what he said, but for those of us with a brain, we do know that in this generation, at this point in life, I should say, with everything that goes on with regard to the internet, there are people that have social media, the companies that have social media teams specifically to go out and monitor what the heck is going on. Because like I have said, that this lazy generation does not want to hear is that they will monitor your shit. And especially if you out there doing TikToks in uniform, if you're doing whatever, but I'm gonna just say TikTok. If you're doing whatever while the hours that you're supposed to be working, even if you're in the bathroom, if you're in uniform, how many people have we seen get fired because they're making TikToks while they're in actual uniforms, including the oppressor? But no, it's us that's got issue. Just like Albert said. Where did he go? Did Albert just? I thought Albert just said something. Oh, they think all boomers are rich. And even if they are, and Generation X now, don't forget Generation X, even if that's true, that has nothing to do with them, right? But they think they're entitled, because I assume that word will come up soon. They think they're entitled to what others have. They're mad about what boomers have. They're mad about what Generation X has. They're mad. They're pissed. Shout out to RBN. And so now they are pocket watching CEOs. They're saying that it's not fair. They make too much money. How could they? We don't have any. They should share. That's why they vote for socialists, thinking that they're going to get some trickle down. Shout out to Reagan. Thinking they're going to get some trickle down and then they don't have to work. And what they're going to find out, slowly maybe, but they're going to find out, is that if you allow someone to take care of you, especially an entity, meaning the government, whether it's mayor, whether it's governor, whether it's whatever, is that if they're going to take care of you, then that means that they are in charge of you. And at the end of the day, these people do not want to be told what to do. Say I'm lying. They don't even realize that they can also take it away from you. But what do we know, right? Ms. AB says, work ethic is a beautiful thing. This new generation is special. My niece and nephew are ruining their lives and opportunities. They will both learn the hard way. I blame their mother, my sister. And that could be true at some point initially, but at some point they got to grow up too. Especially if they know how to be on the phone, get to Google and social media, and they can learn how to do all that, then they can learn how to get some shit together. And I'm sure that they have you that's telling them, and probably other people, they don't want to listen. It's just an expectation. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to Chihanda. Thank you so much, Boo. He said, Messi, all this Snow Bunny trying to say is, you're not going to tell me. I'm going to tell. This one on the screen actually has work ethic and sense. So even though she is a Generation Z, she doesn't think she is, but she's a Generation Z. She's got some common sense. So somewhere along the line, she figured out I can't just be just whoever and whatever I want to be and then expecting something in return. Nobody cares about you personally, except maybe your moms. Not y'all, you know what I'm saying? These people think everyone's supposed to care about them. I'm telling you, this is a result of the participation trophy and your feelings matter. I don't care about none of their feelings. Not near none. Not near none. Ain't nobody got time for that. But they stuck in that mantra, that mindset, and they don't want to change, and they think everyone's supposed to change for them, and it's just not a reality. Ms. AB said they all think that I'm rich. I'm just disciplined with my finances and life decisions. Discipline? What? What, girl? Discipline? Child, you over here talking French. Discipline?
All I did was I had my first initial call with him. I was very responsive leading up to that call, answering him right away. After the call, I sent him, he asked me to send him over like a few ideas. I sent him like 100 ideas. Nothing like crazy, but I sent him a lot of ideas, very well thought out. I put a lot of effort into it. And then I added some additional ideas and perspective. And then I also let him know other things that I could do for him if the opportunity arises, other things I've experienced in. And then I followed up 2 days later saying, would you like to meet in person? I knew the neighborhood he lived in. I said, we can meet at this time at this place on Monday afternoon. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And he told me when we got to the meeting in person that he wanted to bring me on just because of that email and just because I set the time and place and took the initiative. So I'm not trying to sound like a boomer or something and like talk down or anything like that. But if I get it, like, I think it's a more anxious generation. There's an issue with taking initiative and all these things. But you guys, when you move into a professional setting, people love that. They want to see the hunger. They want to see the drive. No one is going to.
She just got it. I don't think
The hunger and the drive, they think hunger is when your stomach is growling and driving is when you get in your Tesla.
there's an age demographic. It has nothing to do with being a boomer. It's lazy boomers, it's lazy millennials, lazy Gen Z, lazy people across the board. This has to do with winners and losers. Winners move a certain way, losers move a certain way, and you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between people that are that really want it, that's hungry for
Level position. If you're applying to a ton of jobs right now, just try to take initiative, go into those interviews with ideas already in your head, and just do better. Because, oh my God, all the young people I've been working with that are like in college, straight out of college, it's not been great.
A lot of people are going to hate on me for this take, but I really truly believe that if you're a guy between the ages of 20 and 30 years old and you don't have kids, maybe you're not married, you don't really have anybody that depends on you, you should be absolutely grinding, working, doing all kinds of things, spending extra hours, attacking goals.
What? He said that y'all should be not y'all, maybe some of y'all, you should be working, and you don't have any kids, you should be working like crazy hours. They don't. What, sir?
And just setting yourself up, because one day you're going to be a lot more busy. You're going to have people depending on you. You're going to have other things going on. You will never have more time than you have right now. And
It's funny, in this video, I looked at his comments also, and there's people like, man, skip that, I'm YOLO. What's the point of being YOLO when you broke? What's the point of
YOLO? You're YOLO when you're 21, 22, and you have nothing. Wow. That's hilarious.
thinking that you got motion when you don't even have the capacity to be able to do anything financially? You know what I'm saying?
These are the people that's asking other people for everything. That's where Beg Talk came from. I mean, a lot of people went on Beg Talk, but enough of these people can't even afford a place to live. They can't afford anything. Just blame it on Trump. Just blame it on the economy. Just blame it on just blame it on X and boomers. Yeah, that's what it is. This is one of the reasons why they got people out here fighting for, and I haven't heard this in a while, but this used to be a thing, if y'all recall, that they wanted to have the minimum wage be some crazy ass 17, 18, 20. It was $20 in California, $20 an hour. Like, y'all, that is ridiculous. And I'll forever remember that I was being paid $4.25. And then you have a heifer like yesterday talking about, oh, you're rich. You see, they never want to look at the beginning. They only ever want to look at the end, which is another problem, which is why they're looking at CEOs. They don't know that somebody like Jeff Bezos, I think it was, he has Amazon. It started like with books. Remember when Amazon started with just books? I think it was books, y'all. But he was like working out of his garage or something like that. So do you think that he was out there talking about YOLO, you only live once? Or was he and whoever grinding in order for them to be where they are now? So people just think that they're supposed to, these people think that everyone else should suffer forever. And then all the hard work that they did and for what they've accumulated, they should just give it to them and continue to suffer. Watch their kids and then do what they want and then never enjoy and live their life. Too busy pocket watching. Okay, yeah, Amazon started as books only. Exactly. That's crazy. And look at where he came. Look at where he is at now. Meaning Jeff Bezos, and they're mad at him. Maybe they should take a page out of his damn book. And I don't know if he wrote a book or not. Maybe they should start thinking about how he grinded, like this man is saying. Nope. The economy is so hard. Like we've never been through a bad economy before. Like the economy is the economy through all different presidents. It doesn't matter who, Democrat or Republican. Shit changes. That's how the economy works. These are supposed to be smart people that went to college. They don't even know that. Wow. His wife was his secretary, Mackenzie. She was there in the beginning. So when people are trying to act like she used him for money, that's crazy for people to say that. That's the ignorance of people who just hate women, in my opinion, because that woman was there from the damn beginning. All right, they amassed all this money and they broke up and they want to move on. People do not have to stay together forever. The problem are the people that come out here and whine and beg and make dumbass mistakes, accept no responsibility, and then expect everyone to take care of them. That's how I look at it. So Mackenzie got more money than she can deal with and is tossing it all away. Even though she's giving it away to charities like crazy, people still want to hate. People still want to give them a hard time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They don't ever look at anything. Like I said, you got to sometimes look back in order to see how somebody got here. They won't even do that. Whilst still paying for Amazon. Okay. Slim Daddy, I appreciate you. He said, good morning, Reverend Dr. Messi Esquire. I shoveled snow, packed groceries, worked at pizzerias, worked at bodegas because mom couldn't afford an allowance. Pride unlocked when paid. Look at that. Every time it snows, I'll be like, where are the kids to knock on the door with shovels to say, can I shovel for, I don't know, $20 or something like that? Does not exist. It does not exist so much that the people that do snow shoveling in this area are men that are basically Generation X, and then they do grass cutting in the summer, which is another thing that they used to come and knock on the door and say, can I cut your grass? They don't even do that anymore. There's no hustle behind anything. There's no thought to do something to help yourself because the expectation is for someone to give it. Don't want to be out in the heat, don't want to be out in the cold, don't want to be dirty, don't want to sweat. How the hell is the world supposed to continue, specifically the United States, with people like this? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Lazy.
And so I remember I was having a conversation with a guy and I was, supporting him and I was helping him out and all of this stuff. And you can't teach work ethic, you can't teach hustle, you can't teach grind, bro.
Just a big believer of not trying to act like you're retired when you're 20 years old.
Okay, so I'm always hearing about how cooked the job market it is and how nobody can find a job. Well, I'm an employer in this market, okay? I have a landscaping business and I have an employer account on Indeed. And I posted a job from the other day.
Come on, landscaping business. How old does Lance Bass look like? No shade against him. He don't even look like he's 30. All right, maybe he's 30 some odd years old and he has a damn business. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Trying to put somebody on.
Offering for beginner positions, $15 an hour, and for crew leader or growth positions, people with experience, $18 an hour up to $30 an hour. Okay, this is untaxed. I send you a 1099 at the end of the year if you end up, getting paid a certain amount by me. So I get over 100 applicants on this job form, all right? Out of all 100 applicants, 85 of them either don't answer my call back to set up the trial day, or they set up the trial day and I never hear from them again. They don't show up. They ghost me. They say they got a flat tire, whatever. I say, hey, send me a picture. They don't fucking send it, of course. All right, so there goes 85% of my applicants. And I would say 10 more, or probably 14 more, believe one exception. They schedule the trial day and then there is some form of issue. Either they're sick off of drugs and they're just trying to get a single day's paycheck, or they have a terrible criminal record, just shit that makes me distraught. I had a person come out to the trial day and say they were attracted to me. Okay, mind you, I'm 19. This was like a 30-year-old man.
He's 19. Oh my. Oh, shout out to him. He's 19. Oh my God. Listen, I believe everything he says. You know why? Because I know people because gig work is the thing now. Instacart, DoorDash, all that stuff. And there are people that will go out for the day in order to earn money. Like when I did DoorDash, did you get the money immediately? I guess you did, but then you'd have to cash it out. But anyway, do gig work for one day in order to get the money in order to go buy DRUGS. I'm like, okay, what a life that is. But they got the answers and they know the way and they can tell other people what to do and they want to be pocket watching X and boomers. Ciao.
I had a person come out to the trial day and say they were attracted to me. Okay, mind you, I'm 19. This was like a 30-year-old man. All right. I've had, people say they're homeless or they tell me they have a ride in a place that they live at and they're actually homeless and they don't have a car and they don't have transportation. So there goes another 14 people. They're pedophiles, criminal record, homeless, sick off drugs, withdrawals, and it's ridiculous. And that one person that's left over, unfortunately, I didn't get this lucky, but sometimes that's your guy. That's the guy you'll be able to trust. And unfortunately, that wasn't me. I got 0 good employees off of this job application with 100 applicants. All right. So I don't know if it's me as an employer being the problem or if it's the job market, but in my experience, it's the people.
His situation is funny. I was listening to people respond to him. And they were just saying, oh man, I'm not doing all of that for $15 an hour. Then why did you apply?
That's a good point. Oh, I'm not doing all that for $15 an hour. Then there's that. People think that they are worth so much more than what they are. And then maybe this is the problem with so many people that we have seen say, I can't get a job. I can't get a call back. This economy, this economy, that. Well, maybe it's you. What a concept. Maybe it's you. All right. Shout out to Anton. Moving on over to this person, Will Ray. Shout out to Will Ray here on the tube. 11,300 subscribers. Did this. Why Jen It says why Gen Z doesn't want to work. So, you know, me and my unrepressed or repressed feelings for the generation, well, it looks like maybe more people might have some of that. Any excuse not to accept and take accountability and do something different to get a different result. The purity definition of insanity. And first of all, one, we already knew this. Two, even though these videos confirm it, we already knew this. And three, when I find those articles again, we're going to go over that too to show and prove why they want to be upset and mad instead of do something about it. If you are a person that don't want to do something to change your situation and you think that everybody has to change for you, you're doomed. You're doomed. Rachel, thank you so much. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. I appreciate you, boo. She said Gen Z elected Mayor Mandambi, that's what I call him, in the NYC because he promised minimum wage to be $30, free train bus rides. Mandambi won and could not do those things. I'm happy. Oh, we waiting for it all, boo. Trust me when I tell you. He has free daycare for 2-year-olds. And I'm like, I wonder how much that helps the damn city. And they're supposed to increase it each year. And I think they may have opened up one grocery store, if I'm not mistaken. I know that's why they elected him. I absolutely know that's why they elected him. A bunch of Gen Zers for the most part, maybe lower end millennials. Smokey, thank you for the jewels. I appreciate you. Maybe some lower end millennials, but there's no way anybody with any common sense thinks that it makes sense for somebody else. Thank you for the sparkles, boo. Anybody thinks that anybody else is going to control you and run you, and that's going to end up being a situation. If you didn't like it when you were living at home with your moms and your dads, why do you think that you're going to like it when you're out in the world and you think you're free? If you didn't like it at home with your mom and dads, then why is it that you think you're going to go out here right now and think that you're going to like being told what to do with strangers or entities? There's no thought process. There's no thought process. Anyway, all right, let's hear his video.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z.
Here's the real reason why Gen Z doesn't want to work.
These kids don't want to work today.
What up? So today we are going to talk about Gen Z in the workforce and not wanting to work. And I really think you can roll a lot of millennials into this as well, because I myself am a millennial and I actually agree with a lot of the thought processes that we're about to see today. But without further ado, let's get into it.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
I think about this all the time with
Generation X, when you first went out on your own or got your job 40 hours a week, were you able to live on your own, Bueller? Whatever your first real job was, were you able to then take that, get up and go live on your own? I don't know why these people think that's how it works. I don't know why these people think that's how it works. Exactly. 40 hours. So I'm just going to work 40. Ma'am, if you ain't got no kids, why are you not working more? Oh, she got to have a life too, you know. She got to have a life too, you know. They're crazy. This is ridiculous.
If my kids and the future and what it's going to look like for them, because price.
You could live on your own. 20 years ago, when you first started, you were able to do everything that I'm now struggling to do.
How does she know what happened 20 years ago? 20 years ago, you could do this. What is she talking about? These people are in delusion. Maybe you should talk to some people before you make these assumptions about how we lived. This bitch don't know what she's talking about at all.
Another perspective here. You've been working for 20 years. You have 20 years of working experience behind your belt. You have 20 years of experience in a career that has allowed you to gain raises, to get more money.
That's how it works. Exactly. That's how it works. What did she not hear herself? Are these people intelligent? Are these people smart? That's how it works. What are we talking about?
To profit you in an economy that you created. You can sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to work my tail end off, wasting all of my life working just to barely be able to pay my bills. And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years.
Oh, here we go. It's your fault. It's your fault. You created this. Oh my God. It's your fault. Lazy, whining asses. That is hilarious. She just knows so much, and this is your fault. She knows so much. You all could do this. None of us lived on our own. None of us lived on our own. American man said, I live with roommates and work 50 hours, party 3 days a week, did DRUGS until my mid-20s. Exactly. And listen, I'm not co-signing the DRUGS, but do they ever think about roommates? And look at the fact that you work 50 hours. And you maybe even worked more, but she talking about straight 40 hours. So did she miss the part where she said we worked for 20 years? You don't get it in the beginning. You work for it. No, we see what you have. We want it now. Just like we're watching Bezos and the dude from Facebook and all the rest of them with all their money and they live and how they live and all that type of stuff. Oh, she don't know where they started. Just like I said with Bezos. And even Zuckerberg started in the garage, if I'm not mistaken, right? They don't want to see all that. That's where y'all are. They just want to jump straight to the top, which is why they become whores, okay? And then they end up deceased in foreign countries and not able to come back home. And I guess that's our fault too. I will not accept that. That's your fault. That's your fault. They want to jump to the end with no work. I don't want to work all my life. No one said I don't want to work for a 9 to 5 for 20 years. You don't have to work a 9 to 5 for 20 years. Why don't you plan your fucking life? Why don't you plan on what you want to do? Why don't you talk to some of the people where you think you know what they did and actually find out how they lived initially and how they got to where they are? Nope, that don't make much sense now, does it? Ooh, I tell you, interesting, ain't it? She mad. She mad.
Years, you tell me how it got ruined. We can sit here and we can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. You let it all run to hell. And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
She's a little animated, but I do agree with her because things are not what they used to be for prior generations. And it's true. Like in the past, people were able to provide for a family, buy a home, buy a car.
Sir, millennial sir, they got married. This is another part that they don't want to acknowledge because they want to be so feminist and they want to be everybody is equal. Excuse me. And they don't want no traditions and they don't want no man, ain't no man since she's a girl. And listen to her, I'm pretty sure that's where she's not a Republican at all. But let me say conservative. But they don't want to hear that part. So how many people, Generation X, if you're here and if you're on replay, knew someone that just came out of the box and then bought a house? People got married, they combined their incomes and they bought houses and they afforded life together. These people will not do it. They will not see that part. They're not trying to hear that. We just said that Jeff and Mackenzie got together. She was his secretary in order for them to amass Amazon. Zuckerberg was in the garage with a couple of people, if I'm not mistaken. And so was Job, the one from Apple. Steve Jobs. Another one. I'm confused. Just say because you think everybody could afford a house because it was this much. We made $4.25 an hour. What are you talking about? What are they talking about? Just talking out of the side of their neck with no information. This is just straight up pocket watching.
Live an okay life on minimum wage and to stay at a job forever and get raises. I learned very quickly after I fixed my life and got into the working class of America, I learned that raises do not keep up with inflation. And
raises do not keep up with inflation. So you need to make moves so that you can overcome inflation. That's how that works. If you just get a job and then you just stay there, listen, those jobs where people used to work for General Motors and the other car companies and big factories, you know what? That shit is going. I didn't benefit from none of that. And honestly, I wouldn't want to do it, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just not what I would want to do. Somebody had to do it. That's basically baby boomers. They made money from that. Shout out to them. I couldn't imagine being on a line doing the same thing over and over and over again. The rest of us probably ended up going into corporate America. That's where I ended up going into corporate America. And that's Groundhog Day enough of the time. But no, the raises that they give are not going to keep up with inflation. So you know what you got to do? You got to move on to higher positions. That means you got to apply. That means you got to get your skill set up. You got to get with, what is it called? You got to, oh God, y'all help me. When you basically getting to know people, so that you can know them for later, and then they can supposedly allegedly help you with a leg up. I can't even think of it because I don't even do it no more. You gotta talk to people. You gotta make moves. You gotta be known. People gotta know you. They don't want to hear this. They're not trying to hear this. And somebody said a little while ago, Ms. AP said, I knew a new Gen Z person in my office said that I am affecting her mental health. Ma'am, you have to do your job. You cannot sit here all day and not do the work. If you do not want to do the work, you can leave. Thank you, boo. Networking. Thank you, guys. You got to network. I bet you they don't know what that word is either. If you're not going to, excuse me, this is what you do at this age. This is just what you do. You have to go get to know people, not the people that you know when you get out of work. You have to go into work and know people. If you want to move on, if you want to get a raise, if you want to get a higher position, if you want to do something more, they don't want to do that. They think it should be given to them. And for this dude to be saying this, you can put him right back in there. Amazon starts at $19.05 hourly. I started at $4.25. And then at one point, $25 a day. You're sitting up here talking, when me and my husband got married, we both made $25 a day. $25 a day. Now, I don't know what the hell that calculates out to hourly. It's about maybe $5 an hour. It's about $5, maybe a little bit less than $5 an hour. And these people can start at 19, and you think that things are any different? It moves on. That's how it works. I can't imagine having $19 an hour back then. And then we combined income and still couldn't get a place that we needed a co-signer. Do y'all hear me? So it wasn't, we went to work and then we went out there and then we tried to find a place. We did. And guess what? They said no. And so we had to get a co-signer. Child, these people swear they know so much and don't know shit.
Generally, raises are just not enough to change your lifestyle, your life, anything. It's just a little bit to keep you on a little bit longer. And I can argue both points. Like, these are businesses that need to be cost effective.
Damn, this is 1.5 speed and he still sounds slow.
But the problem comes when you have the higher ups making a significant amount more than everybody else.
Listen to that. You have the higher ups making a significant amount more than that. How do they do this, y'all? This is wild to me. So they think they should make CEO money while doing no work? Do these people not understand that those people, a CEO of a company is responsible for the whole company? They don't even realize that. All these people do is freaking pocket watch. That's it. Lazy. They don't want to do any work. It's lazy. They definitely are the lazy generation. Slim Daddy, I appreciate you. He said Gen Y millennials embody instant gratification and microwave attention span. Why can't they work a second and third job? I started with only grocery bag tips. I don't know. Because the rest of their time should be lounging in leisure and doing what they want to do. And no one says that you have to do it your whole damn life, but child, you got to do something in order to get someplace. This is how closed off with the mind that these people are. It's wild to listen to. And the fact that this man is thinking the same way is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see if there's another video. And by the way, fair use, because you might not like my response, but it is what it is. As a Generation Xer who didn't just come out and become a well-to-do person, I worked for it. We worked for it. Y'all got to work for it too.
Let's get into the next one.
Is it really so shocking to learn that Gen Z doesn't really have the same appetite for climbing the corporate ladder anymore, when we are relentlessly reminded in so many ways by our culture that labor is not viewed as an asset, but instead a cost? The most high-paid positions in society are finance, more specifically private equity and hedge funds that infiltrate companies and cost cut. What's the highest cost? Labor. So it's always heads on spikes. That's what people want, right? So it's a completely adversarial relationship that capital has with labor now. If you want to get paid the most, you have to fire the most. And why would you work hard for a company that views you as a nuisance, right? They can't wait to get rid of you.
That's another huge change from what was in the past, is that people could go stay at companies for long-term, be taken care of, be treated with respect, be treated as an asset, as opposed to being a liability. It's changed a lot. And
so they want to be coddled, basically. No, nobody any child I've ever had was like, "Oh, you're the best." Oh, you're the. I mean, they say that shit, but I never believed it. And if you don't want to work there forever, then don't. Then figure out what the fuck you want to do. But the answer is not to sit here and bullshit and wait for someone to give you anything. I mean, what the fuck? This is crazy.
That's another reason why I agree with these people of a lot of their points, not all of them, obviously.
That's what AI is all about. It's about taking over what you're doing. It's about taking skilled labor completely away from society, so there's only Amazon delivery drivers left. And I don't know, that's pretty much it. And private equity is coming for everything.
Amazon delivery drivers are probably out of a job as well. I've just seen that they're about to do a bunch of layoffs because once they figure out the robotics portion of it as well, a lot of people.
Well, who's supposed to do any of it if y'all won't work? You want somebody to take care of you. Williams said the economy is bad for most and the cost of everything has gone up way more than older generations had to deal with. Both are true. But you're not taking into account the amount of money that we had. That's the problem. You all don't take you're not going to tell me that $25 a day is some great wage. And I'm supposed to be out here saying, "Oh, this is great. This is wonderful," and then just not do anything. $25 a day wasn't enough then, and it ain't enough today. So you all just don't take into account the fact that we went through shit too. You only see the end. Y'all don't look at the beginning. You just look at the end. We went through the same thing. You have to work. The bottom line is you have to work. That's it. That's it. The 70s, they had a gas shortage so bad that you could only go get gas on certain days based on your license plate number. And y'all got the opportunity to do so many things in this day and age with a fucking phone in your hand, and you're still complaining? Right. But and at the same time, people today, even me doing this shit here, you think this was something that anybody was doing when me and my husband got married in 1994? You think that this was an option? This is an option. It's not just this. I'm talking about YouTube, social media as a whole. These people just don't want to look outside of the box because they're lazy. They got to figure it the fuck out. Especially if you're a freaking man. Not you in particular, but I'm talking about these dudes just following behind what these biatches be saying. And again, these people also don't want to get married and get together because they want to be so independent, quote unquote. So you're independently suffering. They're independently suffering. They don't take those things into consideration. They're just like, "Oh, y'all just got up here and you went and bought a house." No, we didn't. We started with an apartment together. We worked and built together. We got different jobs. We moved up from different places. We had to have a co-signer in order to get an apartment. And then we took it from there after someone trusted us with co-signing and springboarded off of that. It was no day in the park. This revisionist history because they're mad because shit costs more. Guess what? On $25 a day, everything costs more. And we got paid once a month. How could I forget that? Once per month. So guess what? We had to get second jobs with a kid, both of us. So no, I have no empathy or sympathy for these people. They're alone by themselves and they want to just work 40 hours a week. Look for a better job. Stop worrying about what what does he say the private equities are doing? Well, then don't go into that business, child. So then you're giving up on life. I don't have time for their bullshit. I have no sympathy because it's excuses because it's laziness. I don't want to work corporate America because all they want is slave labor. Well, then what the fuck else you gonna do? Then go live with your moms then, because it sounds like that's what you want to do. Shout out to BT. He said, "We're living in a time where we can make an income with virtually no gatekeepers." I am 55 years old, making almost as much money on YouTube, doing it part-time, y'all, okay, as my regular salary. So these smart people who know so much are going to whine and complain about corporate America? Corporate America has afforded me since my youngest was One, because I had to change. I couldn't be blue collar because I had to take care of her. You stay at the same place, you're not going to keep up with inflation because they're only going to give you a minimum raise. If you're not even doing minimum work, you might not even get a minimum raise. So if they're going in here with the attitude that the first girl showed us on Anton's video, who do you think is going to give you money just because you exist? You have to work. You have to do something. You have to produce. It's not hard. It's not hard to understand. Let me say it's not hard to understand. It's not a hard thing to understand. And guess what? Until I got laid off, I didn't know and realize is that the quickest way to make more money is to job hop, of which my baby boomer parent told me, you don't job hop. You get a job and you stay there. Well, guess what? Once I got laid off and saw how much money that I could get at that next job, I was on a 2 to 3 years and I was moving on track after that. Then when they started giving bonuses based off of where I was in my position, and they started giving yearly bonuses, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like this. It didn't come out from the gate. But then after a while, I didn't want to deal with people no more because everybody drive me nuts. So I said, yeah, let me just get an individual contributor position because I don't want to manage people and they bullshit. That gets tiring easy. So that's what I do now. And I'm just coasting right now because I'm not trying to do much and I don't want to be seen. I'm chilling. But if you don't ask, you're not going to find out. If you just want to get on said internet and just complain, that sounds very effective. That sounds like it's going to work. Exactly. And you telling me at 55 now that I can do it and they can't? They know more than me. Shit. Prince said, when I started out at 18 years old, I was doing construction work, $12 an hour a day, and cutting hair on Saturdays, 9 to 6. Part of their issue is that they're watching what other people do on the internet. They're sitting up here, somebody said gatekeeping, pocket watching what everybody else is doing. Oh, well, they do this. Oh, well, they do that.
All of those companies are being bought up now. So no wonder we want to pursue our hobbies and things like that. We've been told by capitalists over and over again that they can't wait to replace us, so we don't want to work for them.
Yeah.
I don't talk to capitalists. I don't know what capitalists are saying. So clearly that's a field that he must want to get in. So he's mad for whatever's going on. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, I've heard of venture capitalists, but I don't know what those people do. So I don't know what he's talking about. But if that's what it is, and that's what it is, then move on to something else.
With college, they're just like, unless I get a job that fits exactly what I'm looking for, I would just rather just not work. And they'll go and they'll take a temporary position or they'll go for an interview. And if they find that they don't find the things that they're looking for in their employer, they just won't take the job. Whereas back in the day, our parents' generation, baby boomers, they were happy, they would take anything, they would snatch your hand off you offered them a job opportunity because it was a different culture back then.
And that could be an issue, right? That could be an issue.
That is an issue. I remember they wanted things like where I work at, they are modernizing the place and everybody's supposed to give a shit. I don't give a shit about none of that. They give you free water. I'm like, what? Meaning like purized water. They give you free coffee and stuff like that. They have a ping pong table. And I'm like, child, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Just let me come and go as I freaking please and leave me the fuck alone. That's all I care about. This would be Generation Z that cares about shit like that. Oh, they got filtered water. They got purified water. Oh, they give us coffee. Oh, they got tea. Oh, they got a ping pong table and something else they got. It was a time where they had video games in one of the places that I worked in. Everybody was like, oh God, there's video games. I was like, I don't care. I don't come to work for this. Just let me work and leave. Instead of going and playing games, child, just let me leave. I'd rather go home than sit here with y'all. I'm just saying. That's just me.
That they're so unhappy with.
Here's the real reason why Gen Z doesn't want to work. Kids these days, they don't want a hard days of work at all. They just want to quit their jobs and be on social media all day long. Yeah, it's actually a lot more complicated than that. We want to quit because we're being taken advantage of, put in huge amounts of debt, and not paid properly. See, because while you're working in the 80s, your salary could actually afford you a decent lifestyle. But let me just show you the numbers. Since 1970, home prices have increased by 1,608.
Everybody always want to show somebody the numbers. I want to show you the numbers. Let me show you the numbers. Oh, what about the numbers? Here's the numbers again. A big part of what these people listen, when we're watching these things, remember they never, ever speak about their husbands or their wives or getting together or imagine if one person makes, like we said last night, 45,000, that's a whole 90,000. Then you could afford something, couldn't you? Maybe, but nope, don't want to do that. This is a part of what feminism gets you as well. Would you all agree or disagree? This is a part of what feminism gets you as well. You can do it all by yourself. You got this. Go to college. You'll get a job. Everything will be good. Work on your career. Focus on your career. You don't need no man. You can do it all by yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, we did what we were supposed to do. We went to college and look what it is. And it's not fair and it's not right. And you got all this money and you got all this money. I promise you, most of the people that they pocket watching on were married. I promise you, most of them were married. They don't want to look at that part. If you're not going to look at the whole picture, then miss me with this bullshit. First house we bought cost $84,000. We still needed each other in order to get that house. We still needed each other in order to get that house. And still was working 3 jobs because did I have 2 kids by then? Yeah, we still had the 1 kid. We bought the first house and then we had another kid. But he was still working 2 jobs. He was still working 2 jobs. So in essence, we're working 3 jobs total, raising a family, owning a home. They don't want to hear this. These people, you think that girl on the screen is married? She's not. They're not trying to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it then. Then you bear it all. This is what being a feminist and worrying about being equal and equality. And the funny thing is, y'all, and then I'm gonna go ahead and read BT and move on, is that the women in my company and every company that I work for that are higher and at the top and stuff like that, I'm not even talking about management, like middle management where I was, I'm talking about higher, they're all married. They are all married. And I've said this before, in corporate America, you're only gonna get so far if you are not married. So if that woman, and I'm just spouting out a number, I don't know what these people make. If that woman, the woman that got fired allegedly with the New York, she stole the New York trash can. She allegedly made $300,000. So she probably was one of them people up top. So imagine if her husband made $300,000. That's a total of $600,000 allegedly. Just say it's 500. Yeah, they're probably going to be better off. They're probably definitely going to be better off. But guess what? They're also together. Y'all want to be feminists so badly. Y'all want to do it all by yourself. Y'all want to be led by I don't even know what you call it. A thing that tells you that you don't need nobody and you can do it alone. This is what you get. None of them are talking about their significant others. None of them. And then the person earlier who said that they had roommates, worked a couple jobs, 50 hours a week. These people don't even talk about roommates. Oh, I don't want a roommate. I don't want a roommate. All right, cool. Y'all make this shit hard on yourselves. You have to do what you need to do in order to get to where you need to be. And then you make the changes as you go along. Nope. Just blame somebody else. That'll work. Thank you, BT. He said, I seen Gen Z are looking for jobs that want health insurance to co-pay for Ozempic. Imagine that being the reason that you need a job, because you need to get Ozempic. Insurance is important. That's another reason why initially I had Medicaid because I had the kid and we weren't married. So then I said, I got to get a job also to get some insurance. I also had to carry the insurance for the whole family. That's a lot of money too. These people don't think about that. Then he got the job where he could have insurance, or the insurance was more affordable, because with blue collar, a lot of the time, depending on who you work for, that health insurance coverage is very, very expensive. So it made sense for him to be on mine. So then they started changing shit and said, if you have offered insurance at your job, you have to take that first, and then this one will be secondary. All these changes that we had to go through changes too, I'm not talking about us in particular. I'm talking about all of us as a whole. They don't want to hear that. Now they want to look at the numbers. Child.
8%. If we compare minimum wages from then and now, in 2022, minimum wage is 40% lower than what it should be compared to 1970. But anyways, the same home that cost you $100,000 in 1970 costs you $710,000 now. All the while, wages have remained stagnant. Okay, sure, but that's just the—
I have never bought a home for $710,000. Never. Never. And I never would. This is also the thing. And when you're going and buying a house, since I've bought several houses, mind you, you're just going to go for the top of the amount of money that they say that you qualify for, or are you going to go for what you can afford? Because they also always said, oh, well, you can afford $400,000, which I ain't nobody trying to buy a $400,000 house, because then that means the payment is $2,500. No one wants that. We never wanted that. Never had a house payment that was more than $1,500. Stay in your fucking lane. Nope, that's not what they want to do. And they won't admit that.
way things are now. We had struggles too. Live with it. Yeah, kind of hard to live with it when college has increased by 2,000%. Tuition used to be $1,700 in 1970. And in 2020, it's about $38,000 a year. Follow for more.
I like how she broke down the graphs, but I mean, that just reiterates my point of things aren't keeping up. People are waking up. People do not want to live miserable lives. You only have one life on this planet. You only get one chance. There's no reset, no start over.
He's right. You only have one life to live, so spend it all complaining.
Why spend it miserable, barely scraping by? That's why I'm willing to go out and make a fool of myself, try things that make me uncomfortable, do new things, because I know that in order to change my life, I have to do something different.
Well, you know that, which shout out to you for that, sir. But the rest of them they're not acknowledging that. That's the problem. Respect to him if that's what he's doing, but no one's giving you anything. Keep waiting for somebody to give y'all something.
Something has to change. Something. I don't know what. Something.
These kids don't want to work today. They just don't want to work. Ask anybody. Except I'll tell you what, when I was 19 years old, I worked at Applebee's and I could pay my rent for my apartment that I split with a few.
Oh, shout out to Applebee's. I give Applebee's some credit. I give Applebee's some credit, child. Woo, Lord, I was just looking at an Applebee's when I was riding by. I was like, damn, they really need to do a redo. They need to spruce that place up from the outside. It don't even look like a place I would ever want to visit.
Buddies, I could put gas in my car. I could get food. I could get a haircut once a month, and I could go to the bar for a quart of beers every Wednesday. Man, you know.
Let's not forget that these people want to go to Dubai and go to Miami for the weekend. Child, were we doing shit like that, y'all? Oh, well, you're old. Fine, cool. Y'all want to do all this Kim Kardashian influencer shit. That be part of the problem. Because how much debt? They keep talking about all my debt and my bills. What debt and bills do you have? From what? From where? What is all this debt from? Okay.
So I'm telling you right now, these kids to get an apartment, you need first, last, and a security deposit. The rent's $2,800 a month, and you need a 750 fucking credit score. You know, they can't afford fucking anything. So maybe they don't want to work, or maybe they just figure, what's the fucking point? You know, maybe I'll just stay in my fucking mom's basement and drive Uber Eats every time I want to fucking go to the weed store.
Look, listen to what he just said. Hold on. Let's go back. Listen to what he just said. This is crazy. Hold on. Let me see. Will says all of Gen Z's problems stem from an inability and an unwillingness to be collaborative and cooperative. They don't want a spouse, can't hear a roommate, and don't collaborate on the job. That sums it right up. Exactly. Thank you so much. That is a great summation right there. That is the epitome of what it is. You can, not you, they can listen to the mantras all they want to. You can follow all this liberal progressive bullshit. You can go and you can listen to all these feminist talk. You can fall into what the ABCDs be saying. You can allow them to take your kids over. Y'all can go and do all that stuff. It is your choice to do it and allow it. But at the end of the day, life was not meant to be lived alone. Now, does everyone need and want to get married? Absolutely not. But the best, and I'm not going to say the best, but the fastest way to accumulate wealth is to combine. Why do you think that Asians come over and they all live together? They combine resources. That's typically what Indians do as well. But when it comes to everybody else, everybody's so strong, everybody's so independent, and then you get on this internet and show and prove that you're really not. You're just running off at the mouth to your own freaking detriment. Do not blame X. Do not blame boomers. Blame yourself. Blame yourself, especially if you do not have children, because child, they're the most expensive thing. So that's another reason why I never understand why all these people who don't have anyone else just out here willy-nilly having these children and then want to blame somebody else for it. No, that's your fault. That's a you problem. You did that. The most expensive thing in the world is a kid. They can put up the amount of what they cost all they want to. It doesn't matter to me. They always need something. They're always growing, and there's always something wrong. I can't even imagine if we had a boy. I can't. My kids have never broken a bone, praise the Lord, but they're girls, so they're still. Boys be all over the place. You don't know how many boys that I know that have broken a collarbone, sprained a wrist, an ankle, playing games or playing sports and all that type of stuff. So that's even more, probably more expensive if you have a boy. I mean, this is just life. That's how it works. It is what it is. Thank you, Slim Daddy. He said feminism aims to destroy the village, which includes parents and grands. Not one of these people talk about what their parents or grandparents taught them. Hashtag now is dumb. Oh, no wisdom, no wisdom. None, because it's easier and makes more sense just to blame instead of try to learn and hear and understand and change and pivot. Shout out to those that know and pivot what it is that you might be doing. I'm just saying, yo, you remember when that was a thing where people was living in storage units? So extreme. But let's listen to this dude again, what he just said.
Something has to change. Something. I don't know what. Something.
Y'all have to change. That's it. Y'all have to change. Do we think that the government is going to change for us, y'all? Let's be honest. Whether it's Trump, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's Clinton, Obama, Bush, do we think that the government is going to change for us, even though they're always talking about the American people? If you pay attention, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to do what they're going to do. I'm just saying. So roll with the punches and figure out how to maneuver yourself around it, or just whine and complain and end up in the gutter.
These kids don't want to work today. They just don't want to work. Ask anybody. Except I'll tell you what, when I was 19 years old, I worked at Applebee's and I could pay my rent for my apartment that I split with a few buddies. I could put.
He said, I split with a few buddies. He said, I worked at Applebee's and paid my rent, which I split with a few buddies. I bet they missed that part. I bet they missed that part.
Gas in my car. I could get food. I could get a haircut once a month, and I could go to the bar for a quart of beers every Wednesday.
He could only do that because he lived with a couple of buddies. He could do that because he lived with a couple of buddies. Why these people don't want to do anything together is beyond me. Like, even if you don't want to get married, fine, don't get married. You're too young, right? Then, like somebody said earlier, why don't y'all get together and just live together? Nobody wants to do anything that makes sense and thinks that the rest of the world is supposed to change for them.
Man, so I'm telling you right now, these kids to get an apartment, you need first, last, and a security deposit.
Yes, you do.
The rent's $2,800 a month, and you need a 750 fucking credit score.
I don't know if that's true or not, but most people don't have no damn 700 score, so I don't believe that. However, get a roommate or two. Nope. Not saying that. So he's feeding into this foolishness. Even though he just said that he had roommates, he feed into their foolishness. So he's no help whatsoever. No, I don't feel like anybody heard that part. Not y'all. I'm just saying.
They can't afford fucking anything. So maybe they don't want to work, or maybe they just figure, what's the fucking point? Maybe I'll just stay in my.
The point is that don't you need a place to live? Remember when we watched this girl about 2 years ago? I know it's been a while for those that have been here for a while, where she was talking about how she couldn't afford life while she was walking around with a latte that she just bought. And she said she can't afford anything. And then she went into HomeSense, one of them stores, and bought like $200 worth of stuff. Then came home and showed a haul. I think they call it a haul. And I'm like, well, what are we talking about right here? Child, what is going on? You can't afford anything, but you just bought a latte and $200 worth of stuff at a Home Goods. But the economy is the problem. Woo!
My fucking mom's basement and drive Uber Eats every time I want to fucking go to the weed store.
Now you want to live in your mom's basement, of which you just disparaged her, not him, but all these people are disparaging their parents, but then they expect their parents to take them in so that they can just live in the basement. So y'all think that you're going to come home to your parents' basement and not pay rent and not pay for food and not pay for anything. And then you're going to just get up when you want some weed and go do some Uber Eats. Remember I told you I know one person that does that? Well, it's a friend of my kids. But they do that every time they want to get something. They just quickly go do a Uber run or Instacart run or something like that, get the money, and then go get what they need. Imagine living like this. Bums, complete and utter bums. And the fact that he's telling this story and co-signing it is wild to me, given the way that he said he lived his life. Remember this stuff, because I know y'all are listening. As you disparage your parents, but you want to come back home and live with your parents in their basement, and then you think that you're going to live there with a baby boomer or a Generation X parent and not have to pay anything? Is that what y'all think? Ooh, Lord help your people. Shout out to BT. He says, everyone I know in LA knows either a married or has a roommate. That's adjusting to life. No, they don't want to. They want to come in here and say dumb stuff like this, that I'm a propagandist for the billionaire class. Like, these people just be making up shit that don't even make any sense. Instead of listening to what's being said, it's more blame and laziness and waiting for someone to take care of them. Pocket watching people that you will never meet. Pocket watching people that you don't know. Pocket watching instead of taking that energy and applying it to working and getting to where you need to get to and doing what you have to do in order to get there. But instead, it makes sense to keep talking about somebody you don't know that don't give a fuck about you, that's never gonna change your situation. That'll teach them. That'll teach them. Woo! It's got to be about the billionaire class. No, it has to be about common damn sense and what needs to be done in order to help your damn self. But we already know that's not what y'all want to do. You want someone to give you something, child. Just go to New York and live there. Ma'am Danby will take care of y'all. I'm sure he will.
I like seeing older people standing up for it. I assume he's older. He looked like he was older.
Child, you look like you older. No shade, no shade. All right, well, that's the last video from him. So that's that. It's crazy. It's crazy to listen to and watch. Let me see. Do I have another one? I have one more, but it's pretty long. Yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock. I'll start this one. This is from Amir Odom here on the tube. He's got 813,000. Why millennials and Gen Z are feeling burnt out from work. Work. Child, even insane. Child, even the I guess it's I don't know if you call it red pill, the manosphere. I don't know what you want to call it. Even the men that are talking to the men, they even tell them to work. One of the main things that they tell them to do is work, and work every moment that you have available to work. And the only thing else you need to be doing is to work out and to work out, to sleep, and that's it. Work out and sleep, basically, until you get to where it is that you need to be. Don't be messing around with women. Don't be wasting money on women and going out, make your own shit. This is what they're telling them. This is what they're telling them. There's no problem with that message. What is wrong with that message? Someone will act like, oh, that's a problem. You're not going to have the same energy. I don't have the same energy now at 55 that I did when I was in my 20s. And then I had a kid and a whole family. So I still was already limited anyway. They're sitting up here talking about that they can't do this, they can't do that. They're alone. They're alone. And you can't? You can. CGA just turned 50 and he brought himself up, for those that know, y'all already know, from homelessness. And these people are whining and complaining when they got the fucking phone in their hand and can go out to get money for weed, but can't figure out their life. Wow. Shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much, boo. As usual. I appreciate you, hon. He says, I joined the Army in 2003 at 21, retired in 2021 at 39, landed a federal government job as a GS-12 in 2022, then into a GS-13 in 2024. Auntie, all I need is to buy back my military time and hit 11.5 years to retire at 57 to get full, unreduced retirement from civil service as GS-13. So now I don't know what all these numbers mean, but I'm assuming it's a good thing. But there are people that will tell other people to not join the military, which I have a whole family of military men in my family. All of them were military and they were all married, including my father and stepfather, and they did very well for themselves. They don't want to talk about that. That's always an option. That's always an option. You think they're going to do that? If you can't work corporate, which you don't have to work corporate, if you don't like working at Applebee's, if you don't want to work in service and you don't want to work here, work there, everywhere, then why are you not joining the military? They'll take care of you. They'll take care of you, but you're going to have to work. And honestly, after a while, I'm not saying that y'all don't work, and shout out to you, Lawrence, and yes, thank you for your service. They get great benefits. They have great opportunity. They may have to fight for the country, but in order for you lazies, in order to be here whining and complaining, you need to have them so that you have that freedom. But you don't do that and you don't think about that. Selfish, lazy, no consideration for anyone else. But then everyone else is supposed to give a damn about you when you don't give a damn about anyone else. This man said he retired at 39 years old. You got a 39-year-old man talking bullshit with that last video we watched. You got basically, he said he was millennial, a late millennial complaining. Just whining and complaining to co-sign a lazy generation's bullshit. For what reason, I don't know. So shout out to you, Lawrence. You did a good thing. You're doing great things. Keep on your path, which I know you are. And salute to all of our veterans, because we appreciate the military over here. We acknowledge who allows everyone to be up on this internet running off at the mouth. Because y'all would, I know Generation Z ain't gonna fight for the fucking country. If they, whoever they are, came over here and infiltrated, they ain't gonna do nothing but whine and cower and go look for the parents that they complain about. Here's another one. Now I'm projecting, y'all. Okay, I'm projecting how lazy you are. All right, well then that's what it is. So all of us are all wrong because we're living the life that we built for ourselves, and you are all right. So congratulations, y'all right. Y'all got it. Let me go ahead and plan my next vacation while y'all whine and complain about you having to work 40 hours a week. Yeah, shout out to our military. I'm not going to be able to get through all of this. It's already 8 o'clock. I got about 15 more minutes.
I don't want a job.
Insecure bosses are growing in popularity. They're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it.
Burnout is everywhere right now. People are waking up exhausted. They're dreading Monday before the weekend is even over. And no matter how hard they work, it just seems like it's never enough. So in this video, we're talking about why so many people are feeling burnt out from work, where the Sunday scaries actually comes from, how some employers take advantage of good workers, and most importantly, how to manage your work stress and everything that you're going through. So if you like this kind of honest and real commentary, be sure to subscribe and let's get right into this video.
People think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years.
I was just going to say, well, what's your debt? Lest we not forget that a lot of people go to college, accumulate a lot of debt, and then they're whining and complaining about that. I'm just saying.
To work and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, and I will say, even though some people like to point blame at like Gen Z and millennial spending habits, things are just more expensive. We've grown up watching like the time and money change. Even for me, I remember growing up, I remember the little bags of chips, they were $0.25 each. You get 4 for $1. Now I think it's like 2 for 50 cents or something, or even McDonald's.
Imagine using potato chips as your as the place where you want to say, oh, chips don't cost 25 cents. You don't need the shit anyway. Plenty of people are freaking obese out here. Let me look at this. pay rate thing that Lawrence. My bad. I don't know what happened. Hold on a second. Let me bring it back up. My bad, y'all. I don't know what happened. All right. I bring this over. So a grade and a step. So he said 13. So a grade 13 minimum, it looks like is 117,000. All the way up to 152,000. Wow, that sucks. I'm only playing, but I'm just saying, right? So, like, if you start out, I guess grade 1 is when you go in, you're at 29,000 up to 36,000. Then I guess you get raise or you get a promotion. You get promotions, I guess, right? And then if you get promoted, then you go up depending on your step. So this is a pay scale of how you make money, right? So to get up to 13, child, he almost up to 15. That looked good to me. So just imagine, and I know that's not the case right now. You can see what a GS12 looks like at step 1 and a GS15. Yeah, that's basically 98,000 is basically 100,000 at G12. Oh, he says, and you can apply for any G position. Oh, okay. And then 15 is up to 163. Kev says, once you hit GS11, the money starts rolling in. Okay, that's good to know. I've never seen this before with benefits. All right, come on with the facts, y'all. Thing is, you don't pay rent in the military and you eat for free. All right, y'all. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. These people ain't trying to hear this. These people are not trying to hear none of this. Just whine and complain and blame. It's corporate America. It's the whatever Raiders that dude was saying. And you all and X and boomers just had it so easy. It's so easy. Oh, and you can negotiate. Child, I know people out here don't negotiate salary. I know that for a fact they don't. Wow. Oh, hey, boo. You're in the military? I didn't know that. Come on, GS13 with a 6-figure income. Come on now. So we got people around here that's doing the damn thing and not out here whining and complaining. Shout out to y'all and shout out to the military. Unrattled, I appreciate you. He says the person saying you're projecting is a sheep. It's and probably Generation Z. I don't disagree. Thank you, boo, because it doesn't even make any sense. It just not listening for not listening's sake. Just not listening for not listening's sake. Slim Daddy, thank you. He said, I work 60 to 90 hours a week in my 20s. Don't complain about 40 hours. Complaining about 40 hours, I agree. You should be out there working as many hours as possible, which is what I was saying about what these people in like the management people. You need to be working. You need to work as much as you can. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. Instead of listening to what they say on freaking TikTok, get out there and get the shit done. Let me go back to this real quick. Listen to a little bit of this.
Made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you
do as kids and growing up is like 2 or 3 times the price. Not even going to the movies. That's a whole date night, you know, when a movie used to be cheap.
And we still
then don't go to the movies. We don't go to the movies. That shit is expensive. Guess what? We don't go to the movies. It's simple. There are actual solutions. All right, Tadisha, we'll see you later. There's actual solutions. The movies are expensive. The movies been getting expensive. Guess what? We don't go to the movies. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's it. Okay, y'all. I want y'all to work until you're dead. And no, you know what? Listen to people like this and go live in your mom's basement and come out only to DoorDash for some weed. Live a life like that. Listen to this person, y'all. Go ahead and listen to this person. Goodbye. Shout out to One True. I see you, boo.
We'll have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent.
Rent is crazy. I mean,
Rent was crazy at $4.25 or $25 a day. Rent was crazy at $25 a day in income. So, you know, the lazy generation wants to whine and complain. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that Amir here, but you know, it looks like he's probably a part of the lazy generation, even though he's not. He's amassed 813,000 subscribers, and I'm sure he's making very good money here. But y'all can keep whining and complaining and blaming your parents. That'll show us. That'll show us. I'm just gonna not work. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so upset about that. Oh my God. Child.
Even looking back at my old places now, I always like to do this like every year. Go back to my old apartment and where I used to live and see what the rent is now versus then. What's changed in that apartment to make that apartment that I was in 5 years ago, 600?
People want to make money. People want to make money. What are we talking about? The first apartment that we had on that $25 a day was $399 a month. $399 because they used to have specials. So then after that, they were going to raise it. So I said, nope, we're going to move someplace else because we moved around. You figure it out. Nope, y'all just want everything handed to you. So then we found an apartment that was $499. And then I said, we're going to buy a house after this because I'm not going to keep paying money like that. And guess what we did? We bought a house. 2 years renting and then went to a house. These people don't play in shit. These people don't play in shit. They don't. This is supposed to just be right in their lap. It's just supposed to fall right in their lap. And then if it doesn't, blame Bezos, blame Zuck, blame me, blame X, blame boomers. It's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. Wow. Interesting. Ms. AB, I appreciate you. She says, screw you, sis. I went to see Michael 7 times at the movies because you work and you can afford it. Shout out to you, boo. We know that you work and you do your job very well. These people don't want to work to be able to go to said movie. So if it's not important to them, not really sure why it's supposed to be important to anyone else. But movies have gotten very, very, very expensive for show. So either you do it or you don't. You either do it or you don't. You either want, you're gonna go to Starbucks and you can, like, every time that I've ever said that I go to Starbucks, people be like, oh, it's so expensive, it's just coffee, it's so expensive, it's just coffee. Well, no one asked you to go. No one said that you had to go there. I go there. That's what I want. That's what I choose, and I can afford it. So if you want to go to Dunkin' Donuts and go to Dunkin' Donuts, if you want to go to the corner store, if you're gonna want to go to Wawa, then that's where you go. But you're gonna be mad at me because I choose to go here? That's what I can afford. Don't hate. It is what it is. So do you based off of what you can do. But I tell you what, it definitely helps to have someone else with you to build together. Again, something that they do not talk about at all. So, Fit Granny says property tax increases in gas and water. That's why rent goes up. As a former landlord, rent also goes up for those reasons as well. And because, yes, we're in the business, people are in business to make money. And the funny part about that is that people will be upset to hear somebody like me say that. But if they were in business, guess what they would want? To make money. Say I'm lying. So they don't like it if somebody else says it. But if they were in business, you think that they just doing it for the hell of just having a business and being out here? No, you're doing it for income. So to fault someone else to want to make a living and support themselves and their family is wild to me. It is wild to me. Mun, thank you, honey, says, I'm gonna blame the boomers and work hard, auntie. That's all good. As long as you out there doing something instead of whining and complaining like the rest of these people, I'm all for it. All for it.
$1 more today. That's delusional. Something's got to change because the rent is getting out of control.
Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. I don't know what these people are waiting for, but nothing is going to change. The only thing is going to need to change is you. So don't change. Keep complaining. Keep providing videos so that we can continue to make money, though.
And it's like the salaries aren't matched with how expensive things have actually become.
Still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard.
Yeah, the expectations that is put onto millennials and Gen Z is actually kind of crazy. And I think something that this video does a great job at pointing at is how it's not even so much fully the job that's responsible for a lot of millennials and Gen Z feeling burnt out, but it's just life. It's merely existing at this point, honestly. Like, just like how much effort and work you're having to put in to exist. That part is.
Oh, wow. You got to put in effort. Oh, no. You got to work. Oh, no. Oh, my God. So now I guess the whole everything is just Generation X and baby boomers' fault because the lazy generation wants to lazy. Interesting how that works. And he was talking about kids, the guy on the left a second ago, talking about kids, right? Then I didn't hear him talk about marriages and being together. And he said relationships are suffering, but is anyone getting together? So are people seeing that this I can do it all by myself shit doesn't really work? It's not really a thing because that's really not how it's supposed to be. Okay. Then do it. Then do it. Everybody has the opportunity. You figure out what you want to do in the daggone day. If you want to spend your time whining on TikTok, then do it. You could be using that time to go and do something to get some money in your pocket to move forward. Stop spending money frivolously. Stop trying to front for the internet. Stop trying to act like you got it going on. Even most of those damn influencers, excuse me, that always be trying to front on what they have and what they bought and where they went and what hotel they stayed in. They be lying. We've covered that stuff also. They just be lying. But people feel like they got to live up to them. And the fact that there's so many men that are saying shit that basically is some shit women would say, CGA is right. CGA is absolutely right about how men are freaking cooked. If you all, not y'all, or clearly some of y'all in the comments, but my regulars, if you all, which basically is enough Generation X people, think that it sounds right for a man to sit around talking about he can't work, that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. I worked 40 hours a week. What? So do y'all think that Bezos and his wife were only working 40 hours a week when they was getting Amazon off the ground? Do y'all think that any of them damn CEOs, if anybody thinks that the CEOs that they pocket watching work 40 hours a week, you're out of your mind. They are on call 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. They have to. That's their job. And then when somebody F's up because they want to be on freaking TikTok whining and complaining, and then they get to deal with the fallout from the media, then it's like, I don't know why they got fired. Oh, because maybe they brought up a firestorm against a company that they don't own because they need to shut the fuck up. But no, just whine. Just whine. Unriddled said, thank you, boo. We have DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft for a reason. No excuse. They want to just use it to have something brought to them and then Klarna it. Let's not forget that. Remember when Klarna said that you could, child, why are you not a mod? Hold on a second. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so then they made Klarna and Affirm and all those dumb things available, which is just a setup, and y'all fall for it. Soon as they said that they were going to put that on for DoorDash and stuff, I said, Lord, help your people. These people about to go into debt over fries. Then y'all got on to TikTok and said, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Klarna so I can get me some fries. Then all of a sudden, they all mad because they in debt and they putting it on their credit report about the fact that you didn't pay for your fries through Klarna or Affirm. Imagine having to Klarna or Affirm a meal at McDonald's. People out here complain about how much McDonald's costs. Why are you going there? Why are you going there? Why are you going there? Just like the movies. I don't go. It costs too much. I don't go. It'll come to, I don't know what they do now, child. It'll come so that I can watch it at some point, right? Nope, these people got to have it now. It's a have it now generation that then complains about things that they do. Rose says, I personally know executives and they work all the time, even when they're on vacation. Yes, there is no vacation. There is no vacation. The vacation is when they get let go. That's their vacation. They don't understand that because working is, they're allergic to work. They're allergic to working. I'm telling you, they don't want to work. Lauren says to the effing haters, guarantee if you want your truck, car loans, mortgage, and rent paid, your ass gonna work. And when you retire, the bills ain't gonna stop. Shut the F up. Get off your mama tit and work. They're not gonna do that. They were just gonna keep complaining and blaming. That's just the thing. That's just the thing. And that's laziness. I got more energy and time in the world and still whining and complaining is wild. Thank you, Ms. AB. She said, I saw a payment plan option for flights. Yes. You know, I know. Girl, we know. Yes, they absolutely do. Every time it comes, they have it for cruises too. And I'd be like, yeah, nah, I'm just going to pay for it. Yeah, I'm just going to pay for it, of course. But they allow a deposit because I have a Carnival card because, of course, I have a Carnival card. And then they sorry, boo. Then they will just go ahead and pay for it. Then they'll go ahead and just I have it so that when the rest of the payment is due, they'll just go ahead and pay for it. And then I get whatever from the Carnival credit card, which is usually points and stuff to use on the cruise when I go. So then they get me stuff, or I can get stuff to utilize when I get on the boat. But it's just, it's all good. Like look at this. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it in a second. Look at this. Work until you're dead. Work until you're broken. I love it. I love those tears. I love those whining, lazy ass tears. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Slim Daddy. I apologize, boo. He said, I'm currently disabled after cancer operation. Oh, I'm so sorry, boo. I'm sorry to hear that. He says, I can't wait. I can't wait to get back to work because I hate sitting on my ass. I've worked since about 9 years old and not stopping now. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, boo. Prayers to you, hon, and hopefully all goes well. I hear you. Get up on this daggone YouTube and start a YouTube channel while you're sitting there. Trust me when I tell you. I'm telling everybody, I have a freaking Patreon. If anybody wants to get into YouTube, there is money to be had. I told you I work full time. I mean, I don't have kids anymore. I do this mess part time, and I make a significant amount of money by doing it part time. There's an opportunity there. There's always something to talk about. There's always a lane. There's always somebody. And, you know, I don't know how much you want to talk about what's going on with you, but that could be a lane right there. Trust me when I tell you, it could be a lane right there. There's always somebody that has something similar or something going on that can relate. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to those that are on the Patreon now. Shout out to you, hon. Prayers to you. I hope all is well. Shout out to Chris in the building. Good morning, boo. He said, what we need is less taxes to pay for less free programs they all want, and the money will go farther. They just put out a report. Biden's illegal aliens raised housing costs 30% and food 20%. They don't want to talk about that part. They don't want to talk about the illegals that the same people who are complaining are fighting for to stay, who they were all outraged when they came into certain neighborhoods and said, oh, well, you never did that for us. When they showed the receipts for their food stamps, oh, this is not right. You're not even from here. But y'all, these people want to go ahead and whine and complain and fight for other people and not fight for themselves. That just makes too much sense. So why would I listen to a poor? Because clearly this person is a poor. Y'all already know. So a poor is going to run around and talk shit and be poor and tell me what to do. I don't listen to poor people. Why would I listen to poor people? I don't listen to poor people. I don't listen to Generation Z. I don't listen to lower end millennials. I don't listen to people with pink hair, orange hair, purple hair, nose rings, earrings, throat rings, cheek rings, eye rings. I don't listen to weirdo people because I have common sense. And clearly what I'm doing is working because I'm not complaining and whining like you all do. Y'all can do that. Y'all can keep there. You can go live in your mom's basement and come out and do DoorDash so you can get your weed. If that's living life for you, cool. Then do your thing. Then do your thing. But for those of us with some sense, shout out to Generation X. Shout out to Generation X forever and always. We'll go ahead and continue to amass and accumulate, still go on vacation, watch you all whine and complain and blame and take no accountability for your own choices. That's that. No, fuck you. You shut up with it. Make me shut up. How about that? How about that? So you're mad. So you're one of them. So you're one of them. You're not going to sit up here and think that anybody that's complaining about working 40 hours thinking that they're doing the most. 40 hours. You think I hate poor people. I don't give a fuck about you or poor people. Not one bit. Not one bit. I don't give a fuck about rich people like y'all do because they're not, I don't know those people and I don't give a damn about them because I got to be concerned about myself. See, that's what y'all's problem is. You're sensitive. You're babies. You've been baby too much. You're sensitive. Your feelings are hurt. Oh, you babies, your feelings are hurt. Wah. Now we want to make it racist. Oh, wah. Oh. So I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for you all. Poor babies. I'm a selfish incarnate. Yup. And I'm about to go on vacation again. What you gonna do? Live in your mom's basement? I don't have to live in my mama's basement. Because I work. Oh, I don't focus on, like Rose said, I don't focus on other people's lives. That's what you all do. And that's why you're crying. Oh, wah. Poor thing, but not really because I don't care. Oh, okay then what the fuck are you giving me a hard time for? That's what the fuck you supposed to do. Why don't you tell these motherfuckers to do that? Like what are you talking? That's what you're supposed to do, you jackass. What are we talking about? Yeah, I am rude. Yep, I am rude against jackasses like you all. Yep. And yet you've been here for an hour. You're vile and you've been here for an hour. You can't make me stop hating shit. Why don't you stop hating me? You want me to stop hating poor, of which I don't. If you want me to stop hating poor, stop hating me. How about that? You gonna do that, Bueller? If you think that I'm hating on the poor, you're hating on me. So when you gonna stop? When you stop, I'll stop. Bueller, now I'm a trans child. I've already heard that. This is exactly who these people are right here. They're all here mad. Just here mad. Oh, poor thing. You're lazy. She's right. Stop crying about facts. Listen, they're not trying to hear it. They're not trying to hear it. They think that this is bothering me. It doesn't bother me because I still have what I have once I get off this microphone. And then I'll be back to go and talk about you all some more because since you're so bothered, this is just giving me the incentive because you'll be back to talk about you more because you all will be complaining on TikTok. Look, if you had a husband to tend to, you wouldn't have time to be on YouTube going back and forth. Oh, y'all, if I had a husband, child. If I had a husband, wow. Excuse me. If only I had a husband, y'all, child. If only I had a husband. If only y'all had something besides worrying about what rich people are doing, then maybe you wouldn't be so bothered about whether I have a husband or not. Because if I do or if I don't, I'm still not on the internet complaining about working. You are. You seem to be the only one mad. I'm mad. Everybody else is just making comments. You seem to be upset and making derogatory words about people that would be you, sir. Oh, okay, then it's me. Got it. Exactly, Laura. As real men, shout out to real men, do. That's what real men do. Instead of being in comment sections whining and complaining and talking about 40 hours a week is work. Anyway, child, these people funny. This is the problem and why they are where they are. They're too emotional. They're LTMs, and then they're listening to women, feminist women who say that they don't need anybody, they don't need a man, they don't want a man, and all that stuff. They will not couple together. They will not couple together. They will not come together to do anything together. They want to do it all on their own, which is fine. Do it. And it's not working out. So blame rich people because you're not rich. Blame people that are better off because you're not better off, because you want to work 40 hours a week and complain and look at stats that say that it was so much easier back in the day, as I sat here and explained plenty of times before, but in this conversation on how it wasn't easy for us either. But you just assume because you're lazy and you pocket watch and you whine. You got a whole ass man here wanting to work with daggone cancer, and y'all still out here thinking that somebody else is the problem. No, you are y'all's problem. And what I'm going to do is I've just decided that I'm going to do a stream later, and I'm going to continue with Amir's video and continue to talk about y'all because it works, because it riles you up, because you are mad at the wrong person. Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. Y'all are the man in the mirror. So until y'all change, the world does not change for you. The world owes you nothing. Go whine and blame your mama. That would be best. So I don't give a damn if you're poor. I don't give a damn if you're rich. I don't care if you're medium. I don't give a damn about none of it, because nothing that you do affects me, and vice versa. But y'all don't see that. Y'all don't see that. And y'all think this shit bothers me. Engagement is engagement. Engagement is engagement. I'm talking to whoever wants to hear it. If you're offended, then I guess I'm talking to you. If you're normal, then you hear the message. If you want to be a millennial that complains, I'm sorry, a Gen Z, and actually millennials too, that want to complain about everything instead of doing something about your own situation, then I guess I'm talking to you. If you understand, because you are Generation X and these people want to project and act like we had everything so easy, then you understand where I'm coming from. But there's a lot of people who don't. Yep, y'all, no man wants me, y'all. Oh, I'm so upset about that, y'all. No man wants me. So yeah, I see the trolls are out. So that's gonna hurt me. And I'm gonna go cry in the car and make a video like y'all do. And then say that it's somebody else's fault. Yeah, their moms are their fathers too. Clearly, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm old and bitter and washed up, y'all. Okay, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Yeah, the lower end millennials, you got to watch the replay, Skinny, because this dude just said they agreed. So yeah, that's it. Shout out to Laura. She says she works 30 hours a week and her husband works 60 hours a week. Shout out to Laura and her husband, a real man. Shout out to Laura and her husband. She clearly has a real man that works 60 hours a week to get them to where they need to be. And she got married, so they're combining income. So shout out to you, boo. Instead of whining on the internet and complaining and calling names on the internet. Anyway, child, let me go ahead and get to work, because I got to work too. Shout out to all of y'all that donated. Shout out to all the trolls, because all engagement matters, because you all aren't even smart enough to understand that even when you're in here trolling, that makes me money. Shout out to all the mods. I appreciate you. I will be back later, y'all. We will be going over the rest of Amir's video. So trolls, feel free to come back. We do not discriminate around here. If you want to come through and show the reason why you are where you are, we'd love to see it. Hit the like button for me. Hit the dislike button for me. Subscribe if you are new. I see you all in the next one.